5 million point combo. If you haven't seen my... And I did! What? That's so annoying. Okay, it straight up says that I already hit 5 million points, but it didn't give it to me. Yo, that's super lame. That's super lame. You can see it. You can see that I hit 5 milli. Oh my gosh. So in order to unlock this character, I have to get a 5 million point combo, but based on the start menu thing I just did, I was putting in work. That's why I was so confident to start a stream. I was like, yeah, like I just did 5 milli, I'm pretty sure. It just didn't count it. I got gypped. I got jacked. But it's probably because, you know, the YouTube overlords were like, you haven't uploaded in a few days. You gotta hit them with another big million something points combo stream, or we won't count it. So here I am, do another stream. Let's see if lightning can strike twice. If I can hit another 5 milli, that would be pretty sick. What just happened? Okay, so the universe works in mysterious ways. My normal route got glitched. I got thrown all the way over here. Hopefully that does not mess up my plans too much. I keep jumping onto it and then jumping off, because I'm super confused on what happened on that half pipe. Oh gosh. Get up there. Alright, here we go. This area is a good place to get a bunch of hard corners. Help build up that multiplier. I think I've hit all the hard corners here. Yo, Rap King, aka Young Pressure, welcome to the stream. It's good to have you. How have you been today? What have you been up to? And you have any questions for your boy? My goal is to hit a 5 milli point combo. You asked how long will I be live? It depends on how quickly I can hit 5 million points. Right now I'm at 800,000. So I'm currently not close to 5 milli. We'll see for how long I'll remain not close to 5 milli. Okay, so that wall ride was one that I didn't hit last time I did the route. Yeah, there are a few wall rides down this, like, no! Oh my gosh. No, I'm probably gonna be stuck doing this for a while now. Because I dropped it. I dropped the combo. This whole run is cursed. Rap King asked, would I rather be the Hokage or Super Saiyan? I would rather be Super Saiyan. Hokage doesn't mean anything, really. You're like ninja president? Wow, oh man, that's crazy. People right now, let's see. Rap King said, do you think Goku can beat Darkseid? I was thinking that when I was watching the latest death battle, or whatever. The latest death battle is like Galactus versus Unicron, and they really gas up, like Galactus and Unicron. They're two really powerful characters. Galactus is, like, worthy of being titled as being, like, extremely powerful. It's just, as they were talking about, like, how powerful both characters really were, it reminded me of the speeches that they'll give during, like, Goku versus Superman death battles, where they'll be like, well, Goku is a character who's always striving to, like, surpass his limits, but Superman is a being who, like, has no limits, or whatever. And it's like, oh, well, how does that translate when Galactus is, like, the embodiment of hunger, or whatever, and possesses the power cosmic, which is, like, the collection of, like, all life energy in the world, or whatever. It was something, like, really dumb. And then Unicron is, like, the embodiment of evil itself. Because that's very similar to Darkseid, their description for, like, Unicron being the embodiment of evil itself. And I honestly feel like Superman should be able to clap the cheeks of like a hungry Galactus. I think Galactus, who's a little famished, he hasn't had lunch yet, Superman can beat him up. Also, Rap King, I'm sorry, I missed the last thing you said. Could you repeat that? I wish it showed me the chat messages longer on PS5. That's like one of the disadvantages of the PS5 setup. I really don't think I'll be able to hit 5 million. You missed when the game glitched earlier, and they ruined my route that I normally take here. Yep. You think Goku is stronger than Superman? No. I don't think so. So here's the problem with like Goku versus Superman. Goku has like a potentially destroying the universe feat when he's in like Super Saiyan God, like when he like first gets the Super Saiyan God form with his clash with Beerus or whatever. And then afterwards they kind of stopped doing like proper multipliers in Dragon Ball anymore, which was like really weird. So he goes from like, oh well, that's like his base form is the same as Super Saiyan God now, which is like a neat idea. So then you can like add multipliers on top of that. So let's say he can destroy like hundreds of universes in like Super Saiyan 3. But then once they start introducing stuff like Super Saiyan Blue, there really are like no rules anymore. Like it gets kind of dumb because it's like, well, what multiplier is like Super Saiyan Blue on top of like Super Saiyan God, which is already his base? Yeah, it gets like really odd. Like I have no idea what Super Saiyan Blue actually means. Ultra Instinct is supposed to be like this power that even the gods of destruction are like having trouble figuring out how to use, and it's more of like a mastery of the angels. Doesn't really tell me how strong it is. Like it stops being like measurable at a certain point. I think that's where like the issue lies. Is like everyone wants to use the they nearly destroyed the universe feat in Battle of Gods, and that gets him up to like universal, and then with the Super Saiyan forms as multiversal. But then after that, it's like, where do you go though? Also, he has really weird speed feats, Goku does. Where there are characters who are like strong enough to be like more powerful than time itself. So some people are like, that means that they should be given like crazy speed tiering. I'm not sure if that's accurate, like if that's how you should do that or not. There's also interesting stuff with like instant transmission. Oh, you asked who's more popular? Superman, no contest. I'm sorry. It's really hard to try and argue that Goku is more popular than Superman. There's just no way. Superman has been around for like a lot longer and has like continued to like endure, like to maintain a certain level of popularity, which Goku has not really had to do as of yet. It's just like hasn't been around nearly as long. So I don't know. I don't even think they're in comparable tiers of popularity. You said Goku is pretty popular. He's the most popular anime character. He is like super recognizable, I will say. Do you think he's more popular than Superman? And in the same way that you're like, he's the most popular anime character, is Superman not like one of the most popular like superheroes of all time? Spider-Man is another like really popular superhero, but even someone like Spider-Man hasn't been around for nearly as long as Superman has. You said they're equally popular? I disagree. You can go to like a old folks home and be like, you know who Superman is? And they'd be like, yeah. You're like, Batman's more popular than Superman? I think that's fair to say that Batman's more popular than Superman. I think he is. Even though Batman is slightly younger than Superman, he did eclipse him in popularity. That also has to do with, like, adaptations, though. I think Batman has had way more media interpretations than Superman has. Don't break it. You see what I'm doing to cheese it? On hills, you can, like, infinitely do these slide tricks. And the slide tricks can earn you a lot of points. You said a lot of people grew up watching Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z's only been around since, like, the 80s or whatever. Like, sure, a lot of people grew up on it. Way more people have had the opportunity to grow up on Superman. Oh, come on, come on, come on. We're not gonna make it. We're not gonna make it. Which is so annoying. But watch the final score still beat 5 million, though. Because you gotta see, that's so annoying. The score is clearly 5 million by the end of it, but because it wasn't 5 million in the top left, it's like it doesn't count. Rap King said, I think if you ask random people who Goku is, they will know. It really depends on who these random people are. I still think more people are gonna know who Superman is, like, off the top, than who Goku is. Like, if you took, like, a sample of, like, 8 billion people, more people know who Superman is. Anime is, like, very, very popular, don't get me wrong. But I feel like people are underestimating how popular superheroes are, especially during our current era of, like, superhero movies dominating the box office and stuff. Who do I like more between, like, Goku and Superman? I do really like both, not gonna lie. I've grown up on, like, comic books and anime. So I've had, like, a good mix of both. I'm trying to see if I have a preference. Like, is there somebody who I like significantly more than the other? One thing that's kind of nice about Superman is that there's, like, constantly more Superman stuff. But I feel like the same can't necessarily be said about, like, Dragon Ball. I don't feel like there's constantly Dragon Ball stuff. There was such a big gap between, like, Dragon Ball Super and Dragon Ball GT. I noticed that you said some people think Superman is boring. So I was under that impression when I was younger too. And I got older and I, like, read Superman comics and I'm like, nope, just isn't boring. I think the impression that people are under that makes them think, like, oh, Superman's boring, uninteresting character, not gonna read, not gonna check out, comes from the idea of, like, oh, he's so powerful, how is anyone gonna beat him? And then his only weakness is, like, a rock. That's stupid. Da-na-na. But they find interesting ways to tell, like, modern Superman stories that go beyond just kryptonite. And what's weird is Superman has, like, continued to get, like, even more powerful. Like, you'd think it would be, like, a nerf thing, that over time they would just, like, weaken him. But I would argue that he gets stronger more often than not, and he still has to deal with stuff that he's, like, not necessarily ready for. The DC universe scales differently, I would say, than, like, other fictional universes. With that being said, Superman is a lot more than just, like, a powerhouse. Which I think is, like, another thing that's, like, a common misconception. People think that he's, like, One Punch Man, like, solving all his problems by just, like, hitting the bad guy really hard. But often Superman just has to hold back. And I don't mean, like, in the Dragon Ball, like, I'm holding back, I'm not going my, like, full Super Saiyan form or whatever right now. It's more of, like, if I don't hold back, I would, like, destroy the whole planet that I'm on, or even, like, the whole universe. My boy can fly so fast. No! 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 That's a wrap. There's no way I'm hitting 5 milli. There's no way I'm hitting 5 milli. Can Superman beat Godzilla? Sadly, no. So check this out. I am not a fan of Godzilla, for real. I am, like, not a Godzilla person. I did not grow up on Godzilla stuff. There's no way that I beat 5 milli. I dropped that, like, massive combo, and see how this, like, infinite spin isn't gonna get me there. Like, it is not going to be enough to actually get into maybe even 3 milli. Which is ridiculous, to be honest. You need those multipliers. Without those multipliers, this means nothing. So I'm just not gonna hit it. That's so crazy. My disappointment is palpable. The reason why I say Superman can't beat Godzilla is because right now they're doing like a Superman, not even just Superman, but like, do I think Gojo can beat Goku? This is debated a lot. I think Goku takes the W. The Jujutsu Kaisen verse is just not that crazy. The scaling is just like really different. One thing that I hear people clown Jujutsu Kaisen on a lot when it comes to power scaling is honestly speed. People in Jujutsu Kaisen are not doing crazy speed feats at all. So you can argue that most universes like blitz them, so it just doesn't work. Superman is considerably faster than like anyone in Jujutsu Kaisen and can beat anybody. So you're like, how will Goku touch him? So how will Goku touch Gojo? Do you think Goku can't move at like infinite speed or whatever? Like if the whole concept of Gojo's power is that he essentially creates like infinite distance between you and him, what if I can move infinite distance? Like what if that just doesn't matter? Or like with instant transmission, Goku can travel instantly from where he is to where you are. And that means he doesn't really have to traverse the space in between you and him anyways, right? So Woo, you create infinite distance between us, I instantly just go to you. I don't cross the distance you created in the first place. I just do my thing and then completely destroy you. Because Gojo's durability is not there. Gojo couldn't take a single punch from Goku. So all Goku has to do is cross that line and ba ba ba. So you said, what about domain expansion? Do you think Gojo is fast enough to open his domain and catch your boy Goku in it? I would argue he is not. Like if both are just going for the kill, just straight up, we're going for like I just want to win as fast as possible, Goku is gonna outspeed him. And again, that's where a lot of the debate comes in. It's like if Jujutsu Kaisen doesn't have the speed scaling to keep up with these other universes, it's not even really a debate. You know? I've seen some kind of embarrassing Jujutsu Kaisen speed scaling. Like characters being like Mach 3 is like impressive at like certain parts of Jujutsu Kaisen. Or characters being fast enough to react to lightning is like impressive in Jujutsu Kaisen. And that kind of speed is not impressive for Dragon Ball characters. It's not impressive for like DC characters really. So it's hard to do like fair Jujutsu Kaisen matchups with these other universes. The question now for this current Bomb Rush run, is it worth even getting more of the hard corners? Or should I, with the time I have, just focus on doing the cheese, where I just kind of like spin around and try to boost the score? I know I can get a higher multiplier than 63 for all the people who are like screaming at home like, get that multiplier, cause but I may not need that much of a multiplier if I can cheese it. What have I been up to recently? My mailbox is broken. I've been trying to get my mailbox fixed. Essentially, we think it's overstuffed with like packages due to like the holidays and stuff. And because of that, we just straight up can't open the mailbox. So we've been trying to like get that fixed so that we can like actually get our mail. Payroll at my job is like messed up. I get paid weekly, and I like just didn't get paid last week. So I'm going to essentially get back pay, which means I'm going to get like one big paycheck that's like multiple weeks worth of pay, like jammed together, which isn't ideal. And the biggest issue is that we don't really know why that's the case, right? That's the thing that sucks. Like, it essentially happened randomly, and I didn't get a valid explanation. So we don't really know, like, if it'll happen again, which is the problem with not getting, like, a valid explanation from your job about, like, why it happened. So that's a couple of the bigger things I've been up to. I've been hanging out with friends. You said the year is almost over. Can you believe it? Yeah, I can believe that the year is almost over. A lot of time has passed. A lot of cool stuff has happened this year. It's been very eventful. It doesn't feel like it was just yesterday thing or anything. I think I should have maybe went for the higher multiplier. Maybe you do need like times 80 multiplier to like get up there. What? So you feel like the year went by fast? I don't think the year was like too crazy. Yeah, I guess you do need the times 80 multiplier. You can't just do it with like a times 62 and then use all the extra time you have. Excuse me. What's your highlight of the year? Like, what's your like favorite thing that's happened all year? I kind of want to do a video like that, where I talk about like what's my game of the year, what's my movie of the year, what's my show of the year. I think I did something like that last year. Because I remember last year I said something like my favorite movie was the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 Holiday Special or something. Which I feel like was definitely a recency bias thing. Like that it like just come out and it was fairly enjoyable. It was like lighthearted. So it was like an easy rate. For this year, I think it's pretty easy to say like some of my favorite stuff because this year just had a lot of like definitive bangers. You said nothing really big this happened this year. It was boring. I don't know what you've been doing this year. I thought this year had a few goats, not gonna lie. Loki, #1 TV show of the year. Loki, give it up for your boy, Tom Hiddleston. Killed it. Best movie of the year, Beyond the Spider-Verse or whatever. That might be the wrong title. I don't care. The new Spider-Verse movie that came out this year, bussin'. Best movie of the year. Game of the year, playing it right now, Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. I've been waiting for like a solid spiritual successor to Jet Set Radio for like 20-something years. I didn't even know I was waiting that long. Because I played it as a kid. I really didn't think that many people were that hype on this game. But clearly it has like a massive following and it was worth it. You said 2023 and 2024 are filler for 2025. Cap. In the AI world, so much cool stuff happened this year. ChatGPT, as of November, is a year old, and that surprises so many people. Because it feels like it's been around for a long time. You hear people talking about it like all this time. GTA 5? I mean, not GTA 5, goodness. That shows you how excited I am about GTA 6. I didn't even care that much about GTA 5. I remember when GTA 5 came out, it was around a similar time of like Saints Row 4 or something like that. And I wanted Saints Row 4. And I remember at the time, I was like a fairly young kid, still living with my dad and stuff. And I told my dad, like, I do not care about, like, GTA 5. Like, please get me, like, Saints Row 4. And he got me GTA 5. He was like, yeah, everyone's praising it. It's, like, the best-selling game or whatever. And I'm like, I could not care less. I'm a Saints Row fan, if you, like, haven't picked up. So GTA stuff does not interest me. Do not care about it. Come on. Come on. No! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Throw in the towel. Throw in the towel. Your boy is cooked. I almost had the times 80 multiplier. I am not getting it, boys. I am not getting the 5 milli. There's actually no way. I think the times 80 is how you get it. I think that's how you get there. I think it's possible to reset your progress. You said a lot of cool stuff is coming in 2025. Name 10 cool things coming out in 2025. 2025 is like a good ways away. It's not even just next year. I wonder if I can name 10 cool things that came out this year. Like I said, the new Spider-Verse movie, Loki, The Batman 2? I'm not that much of a The Batman glazer. It was a good movie. Some people say it's even better than like the Nolan films. I'm still on the fence about that. I was like a really big fan of the Nolan movies. So when people were like glazing it that hard, I'm like, I don't think it was there. But I've watched it like a couple times now, and I'm like, I don't know. Like, I kind of see where people are coming from. There's like some heat there. Can you reset it by going back to talk to her? Because I really need to. Yeah. Okay.
What?
Reset it. As soon as we dropped the times 80, there's no way. Okay. Loki, Spider-Verse, Guardians 3. Guardians 3 was pretty good. That's at least 3 things. We got ChatGPT 4. We got ChatGPT 4 Turbo. I won't count them all as like separate things, don't worry. So what, that's like 4 things or 5 things? Somewhere around there. Oh, I didn't do the wall ride at the end of that. Or did I? Did I already do the wall ride? If so, then that was a waste of time on the clock. I've said at least 4 or 5 things that came out this year. Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. Let's say that's like the 5th thing in the list. I need to hit you up with number 6. What's the 6th coolest thing that came out this year? Are there any cool apps that came out this year? I play a lot of Marvel Snap, but Marvel Snap actually started last year. 5 isn't bad, but I'm sure there's something else that I'm missing. What is another thing? Invincible Season 2! Invincible Season 2 came out this year. That's 6. Gen V came out this year. That's 7. Gen V is pretty alright. It's not like the craziest thing in the world, but I enjoyed it. That Ninja Turtles movie, that was like pretty alright. That's like 7 or 8 on the list, I think. What else came out this year that I vibed with? I would not put the Marvels in the list. It wasn't bad, but I didn't like it as much as some of the other stuff that I mentioned. The Blue Beetle movie was good. I just feel like people didn't watch it in theaters. Marvel Spider-Man 2, that is a good one. That's like 8 or 9 on the list now. Like, we're cooking. We're like getting more things. Let's see, Spider-Man 2. I did not play Baldur's Gate 3. I know a lot of people really like Baldur's Gate 3, and I've been told that I need to get Baldur's Gate 3. But I can't put it on the list. I haven't experienced it myself. Lego Fortnite came out this year. I am a big Lego Worlds glazer. I loved Lego Worlds. That is like one of my favorite games of all time. Lego Fortnite is essentially just Lego Worlds 2. I have seen that the Blade game has like dropped its trailer. I don't fully know how I feel about the Blade game, if I'm being honest. Because the teaser just kind of shows us that it'll be in Paris. And maybe that you can get a fresh cut at the barber. You know, like, we really don't know that much about it. So, cool. Oh, I do know one thing about the Blade trailer that made me upset. It's not an Insomniac joint. It's Marvel's Blade, which makes you think it's in, like, the same universe as Marvel's Spider-Man or something. But it's not made by the same studio that made Marvel's Spider-Man. So it's harder for me to get excited for it, for real. Come on, how do you hold the joystick where you get the, where you get the infinity? If I don't get the joystick placement just right, I'm gonna butcher it. Okay. Let's see if we can hit 5 milli. Seconds left on the clock. Less than 50 seconds. Yo. We're almost to 4 milli. We're at 4 milli with over 30 seconds on the clock. Can we hit 5 milli? Yo, put W's in the chat if you think we're gonna hit 5 milli live on stream. 4.2 million. 4.3 million with only 13 seconds on the clock. Ooh, 4.5. 4.6. Ah, goodness. You said, are you ready for Christmas? I am pretty excited for Christmas. I'm gonna go see my girlfriend's family, my dad, my mom. My mom's doing a huge thing for Christmas. Only 4.6 milli. It did not count as 5 milli. We did not get up there this time. We gotta cook. We gotta cook. We gotta get there. Right now, I still live in Alabama. Okay. Can we get the cook this time? Can we get it cooking? So each one of these hard corners I'm taking, that's a multiplier. That wall ride, that's a multiplier. But the thing is, you only get the multiplier the first time you do any of those. Which means if I like redo any of those corners, it doesn't contribute to the multiplier. And it's not to say it's like a waste of time, but you really need the multipliers for your scores to hit these like multi-millions. What do you of the Alabama jokes? There are quite a few Alabama jokes that exist. I understand it's a part of the culture. What's interesting is that the part of Alabama I'm from is like rapidly growing. I'm in like the largest city in Alabama, which when I was younger was not my city. I remember growing up and people were talking about like wanting to like move to a bigger city and like do more with their lives than just like stay here in Rocket City. But Rocket City has become the place to be, and I have not left. The mayor of Rocket City for a while was like, I want Rocket City to become like the cybersecurity capital, and it kind of has, which is nice because that's what I do for a living. But there are like interesting statistics for where I live. Like apparently, this is like one of the places to be in the US for like people with like PhDs. Like we have a whole bunch of people with PhDs here specifically. Ooh. Nice. Okay. That was almost crazy. So a lot of the, like, dumb bumpkin stereotypes for Alabama, like, just don't apply. At least not here. The stuff about, like, weird, like, cousin stuff that people will say about Alabama, like the incest stuff, not true for everybody, of course. That is, like, funny. It's like, there are people who do stuff like that. I think the only instance I can think of someone I know who, like, essentially got with their cousin, it's like a weird thing where their families had, like, intermarried. No! We fell into the drink. All those multipliers down the drain. Wait a minute. Hold up. There ain't no way. Yo. Hold up. New hack alert. In case you guys are wondering why I'm like, hold up. Remember what I said earlier about multipliers and how, like, you can't get the multipliers again if you've already gotten them? Yo, do multipliers reset if you fall in the drink? If you fall in the water, you can just get the multipliers again? Normally, I'd be like, this is a dead run. I'm like, if I can get the multipliers again, maybe not. Maybe this run can come back. Doubtful, like super doubtful, but I don't know. It looks like you get a refresh on multipliers if you fall in the water. So it's not like a, oh, you can never get them again thing. It's just if you get a bunch of multipliers and then fall in the water, just go back around. That being said, it's still a dead run. I do think there are some combo routes that I'm ignoring when I'm going, like, around, that I could probably be taking better advantage of.
What?
Goodness. It's 3:30. 3:30. Oh, yeah. The cousin thing I was talking about. So I heard a story, like, recently, actually, about a family where, like, they had a uncle who married the other person's aunt, and then later on in life, like, years later, like, they married that other person. So it's a thing where they're not related by blood at all, but they just, like, are cousins, like, through marriage or whatever. Really weird setup. Like, not incest, but you definitely married your cousin, though, kind of situation. So people do stuff like that. You said that's crazy. I mean, it's weird. Okay. How do I want to go about it? I do think when I'm doing this loop, I stay on it for too long, for a little bit. Okay. What's the weirdest thing I've ever seen? Gosh. probably another dimension, which I know requires like more context for sure. So let me hit you up with that. So remember when I did those videos a while back that were like, I did like past life regression hypnosis stuff to try and see if I've ever interacted with aliens, and I like uploaded like the whole recording of the session. During the session, I end up interacting with this weird amoeba creature thing named Blaz, which is supposedly like me in another dimension, and he's studying some kind of specimen that's like this weird jelly cube creature that it calls the subject. It's really like out there wild stuff, and I still have like memories of all that, and I still don't fully understand it. I feel like now that like more time has passed, I've better come to terms with that whole like weird experience. I've like experienced more weird stuff, not visual weird stuff, but just like feeling weird stuff, where I can kind of get behind the whole other dimension thing. I'm not like overly skeptical. I think I was overly skeptical when it first happened. What's the weirdest thing someone has said to me? Bro, okay, weirdest thing someone has ever said to me. I was talking to this one girl back in the day. It was like a girl that I had like met on like a dating app or whatever. And she was talking about how, I don't even know where to start with this. She starts by talking about this girl who was like her friend, and she had the same name as her. And she called her essentially like the fat version of like her name. Like instead of them being like, let's say the girl's name was Aaliyah or something, like give it her fake name or whatever. She called the other girl like Fat Aaliyah, essentially, which I thought was like really out of pocket. But what was even more out of pocket is that she had a crush on this dude who she like never talked to, right? And then her friend, and like air quotes or whatever, who she essentially called Fat Aaliyah, started talking to homeboy, right? Keep in mind, she never made it like super open that she was into homeboy. She wasn't in a relationship with homeboy, and she got mad that her friend was talking to homeboy. So what she did is she went up to like her sister and said that like the Fat Alicia's mom had like said something mean to her or put her hands on her, something like really out of pocket, where the sister goes over to Fat Alicia's house and beats up her mom because of the fact that homegirl had got with the guy that she liked. So then it's a thing where Fat Alicia and Alicia are still kind of friends, but Alicia is more or less like not cool with her and not telling her. And she goes, "Oh man, it's crazy how my sister beat up your mom," like kind of like lying, essentially, like as if she wasn't the cause of the drama or whatever. And she's like, "Yeah, recently she hit me up on Facebook with like a message, and she's like, I don't know why homegirl's still messaging me on Facebook, considering what happened between my sister and her mom." It was really out of pocket. It was a crazy story for someone to tell you. But I think that's one of the weirdest stories I've ever heard, where someone got their sister to jump their friend's mom, who's not really their friend, who they essentially were making fun of, because they were into a dude that she was into that she didn't tell anybody about. I have more weird stories about that girl specifically. She says some of the most out-of-pocket stuff I have ever heard. You asked if I would call the girl like a weirdo. I don't like calling people's name. I don't like calling people names. I think she did weird stuff. I would not call her a weirdo. Also, we hit 5 milli. We hit the 5 milli high score. We unlocked the character. I have accomplished my goal, even though I had already hit 5 milli before. So, I don't know. I even had got a higher combo before. That isn't even like the highest combo I've ever gotten here. So it took me forever to essentially do what I had already done. But yeah, I hit 5 milli. I do have to go for now. I just got a call from Ryan that I missed, so I'm going to call him back. Yo, thank you all for watching. Stay tuned in the future for my next crazy high score challenge. Will it be 6 milli next time? 7 bajillion next time? We'll see. But anyways, thank you, Rap King, for joining us, giving us great commentary, giving me nice questions. It's always good talking to you, my dude. Thank you to everybody who tuned in after the fact. Truly appreciate it. I hope everyone has a happy, fun day. This is your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Black, the one and only, logging out. Peace, guys. Check it out. Bow.